we've all played football, basketball, in the streets or whatever growing up.
I haven't though, but
Especially if you was born in the 70s like me, grew up in the 80s. I don't know what kids do today, but we all play basketball, football, all that stuff. So whether you played it or not in high school or in college, you're familiar with it.
Yes.
If you watch it or whatever. So we appreciate athletes more than we do musicians.
True.
Because as a community, we're just not as familiar with bands and all that stuff. But it's the same fight, same plight. And what Deion Sanders did as a coach at Jackson State, all the things he was speaking, he had the power to do so because he was Deion. But his story was no different from mine.
right.
I just didn't have the name and the notoriety behind it. But what he did for HBCU football can't be denied. Like that was a power move that was needed for the time. And whoever made the decision at Jackson State to hire him, you made a great decision.
Yes.
I don't know if they're still there or not, but they made a great decision because it was a shot in arm, not only for Jackson State, but for just the culture. We needed that.
Mm-hmm. And I think along those lines, like we heard directly from Deion Sanders that like he would have loved to stay at Jackson State, but it was going to take a lot of resources, and a lot of the people that were patting Jackson State on the head and saying rah 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 weren't putting the funding and weren't putting the energy behind it.
Ain't that the story of just being black in America, though? Ain't that the story for black businesses, black radio stations, black media? Like we always have to be innovative, and we always has to be resilient.
Mm-hmm.
It's so resilient.
Yes.
They just stand up against all this oppression. Why the hell we have to be resilient in 2025, and why we can't just be
Very true.
who we are?
Very true.
But that's who we have to be.
Right. Without the struggle. But you're absolutely right. Like that becomes part of the issue. And I think one of the things that I got from your book, Juked, was the fact that like in PWIs, it's the football team. It gets all the attention. When halftime comes, you know, my brother, Devontae Hicks, he played at Stephen F. Austin University. Great band, by the way. But at halftime, they had a different reaction than a Southern university.
Do you know, I laugh because in 2015, I was offered a PWI position. I think I notated that in the book. Matter of fact, I know I did. 2015. And I turned it down because I have the job of my dreams. And knowing what I know now, I don't regret turning that down.
Wow.
Because they was just using me to get whatever they can get out. I would have still been fired.
Right.
Put it like by now. They would have got the little coach they needed, and they would have sent me on my way. They would have paid me well for it. But no. But PWI is going to get what they need. What gets me about a PWI, and really not a PWI, they're going to be who they are. The black people who support it. And they look so out of tune, so out of character, so out of, okay, we're going to play the music your way then, sir, and watch everybody go to the concession stand for halftime.
Yes.
I don't give a damn what y'all think. Oh, they blowing loud, whatever. I'd rather you boo me than talk over my show. Have a whole So how's Lily doing? Who the hell is Lily, and why am I hearing this conversation? And that's what those type of band directors hear. We're going to do the theme from Star Wars, and everybody just talking and shitting on the show. Now, with me, oh my God, it's just so loud and loud. I'm glad you said that because you paying attention.
Right.
I'd rather you boo me than pay attention, than not pay attention.
Not pay attention.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I hope I made my point with that because I'm sure I pissed a lot of people off with that comment. But that's what I do.
Dumbway Ray says, Hamer and Brian were the Jordan and Pippen of the band world. Made You Look says, did Brian Simmons write Nobody Does It Better?
He did.
Really?
Brian Simmons wrote a lot of it.
I didn't know
Brian
that.
Simmons is that guy.
Wow.
I'm not going to deny that. I wrote a lot of hits. Everybody who on the staff wrote hits, but Brian Simmons had the energy and the synergy and everything I knew he would be, and I needed that. He was truly my yang to my yin.